Welcome back to a new episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. Today, we are diving into a topic that I love, and it's my theme for this month of March, and it's mindset. So often, we think success comes down to talent, luck, or external circumstances, but if you look at the people achieving extraordinary things, whether in business, health, relationships, or personal growth, the common thread isn't just skill or resources, it's how they think. Your mindset is the foundation of everything that you do. If you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or like you're capable of more but not quite getting there, this episode is for you. Today, I'm sharing 10 powerful mindset shifts that will help you break through limitations and step into your full potential. This is going to be a longer episode, so grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's get to it. Welcome to the Leading Yourself podcast. This is your host, Carolina de Arriba. I'm an HR professional, health and fitness coach, wife, mom, and above all things, a goal-getter. In this podcast, we're going to be digging into all things leadership, professional and career development, habits, and relationships. This is a podcast for those who want to become the best version of themselves. Those who have big dreams and are willing to embrace the journey and put in the work to achieve them. My goal is to share with you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you in your journey. So let's dig into today's episode. If you know me, you know that every month I pick a theme for the month, and my theme for this month of March is mindset. And I was thinking the other day, how can I bring this into the podcast? What can I talk about around mindset? And that's when I came up with today's podcast episode. We're going to be talking about the 10 mindset shifts to unlock your potential. And as I said in the intro, because there's 10 of them, I know every time we go through a long list, it tends to get a little bit longer of a podcast. So I hope you have your coffee on hand and you're ready to dive in, because I am. So let's jump to mindset number 1, which is shifting from I can't to how can I. Let's talk about one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make, which is moving from a mindset of limitation to a mindset of possibility. Let me ask you this. How often do you say things like, I can't start a business, I don't have the money. I can't lose weight, I don't have time to exercise. Or I can't apply for that job, I don't meet all the qualifications. Every time you say, I can't, you shut the door of opportunity. You make the decision for yourself that something is not possible before you even try. But what if instead of shutting the door, you crack it open just a little? What if you change your question from can I to how can I? Reframing challenges as opportunities is a powerful way to shift your mindset. The phrase I can't is final. It stops all forward motion. But the phrase how can I is open-ended, which invites possibility. So let's try it out. Instead of saying, I can't afford to invest in that course, try something like, how can I make this financially possible? How can I budget differently? Can I save a little each month? Can I find free resources first? Or instead of saying, I can't make time for fitness, how about you ask, how can I fit more movement into my day? Can I do a 10-minute workout? Can I walk during calls? This tiny shift does something powerful. It turns you into a problem solver. Instead of stopping at the first obstacle, your brain starts looking for solutions. And trust me, your brain is wired to find answers when you give it the right questions. Let me share with you a real life example. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, she's a billionaire today. She started her business with no experience in fashion, no business background, and just $5,000 in savings. If she would have told herself, I can't start a company because I don't know how, she never would have built a $1 billion brand. Instead, Sarah asked herself questions like, how can I learn about the industry? How can I get my product made? Or how can I market this with no budget? And every challenge, she found a way forward. That shift from accepting limitations to seeking solutions changed the course of her life. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's a filtering system that helps you focus on what's important. When you say, I can't, the brain stops looking for solutions. But when you ask, how can I? Your RAS kicks in and starts scanning your environment for possibilities. Suddenly, you notice new resources, new ideas, new opportunities that you wouldn't have seen before. This is why people who adopt a how can I mindset often achieve what others consider impossible. So, let me invite you for a challenge right here to flip the script. I want you to take a moment to reflect what's something that you've been telling yourself you can't do. And I want to invite you to rewrite it as a how can I question. And then brainstorm for at least 3 possible solutions. And let's see how that goes. Let's stop saying I can't and start training our brains to look for answers. Because when you open your mind to solutions, you open yourself to new opportunities, and that's when the magic happens. So I want to invite you to try this for 7 days and watch what changes. And please DM me and tell me how this experiment goes for you. Moving on, mindset shift number 2, from I have to I get to. Let's talk about this simple but life-changing shift, moving from a mindset of obligation to a mindset of opportunity. Think about how often we say, I have to go to work, I have to exercise, I have to wake up early. Every time you use the phrase, I have to, it makes the task feel like a burden, something you're being forced to do. It carries a sense of pressure and obligation and sometimes even resentment. But what if you made one tiny shift? Instead of saying, I have to, say, I get to. I get to go to work and provide for my family. I get to move my body and invest in my health. I get to wake up early and have a fresh start to my day. This small change in wording rewires your brain. It turns obligation into gratitude. And I know this works because there's a lot of research that shows that gratitude rewires the brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. When you frame something as I get to, your brain starts associating it with privilege and possibility and choice. Studies on gratitude have shown that people who consciously shift their thoughts in this way, they experience less stress levels, more motivation, increased happiness, and a strong sense of purpose. The words you choose shape how you feel. If you constantly tell yourself, I have to do something, it feels like a chore. But when you tell yourself, I get to do it, you tap into this deeper sense of appreciation. So let's try a few examples. Instead of saying, I have to drive my kids to school, how about we try, I get to spend time with them before the day starts? Or instead of saying, I have to work out, how about we try, I get to strengthen my body and feel more energized? Or instead of, I have to go to work, how about we try, I get to contribute to learn and grow every day? This doesn't mean ignoring the hard parts of life. When you shift your focus, even the most routine tasks can become acts of gratitude. Let me share a couple of real life examples of people that you probably know. The first one, Tom Brady, an NFL legend. He didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to train every day, but he got to pursue greatness. His mindset of gratitude kept him disciplined for over 20 years in such a physically demanding sport. Or how about Beyonce? She doesn't say, I have to rehearse for hours. Instead, she says, I get to perform, inspire, and do what I love. That shift keeps her passionate and driven. Top athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders all use this simple shift to stay motivated and to avoid burnout. The way you talk to yourself really matters. So try this. Try it just for 24 hours. Write down 3 things that you have to do today, and then reframe them as I get to statements. And notice how this changes your mood and your motivation. This shift may seem small, but it's massive in how it impacts your daily energy and your mindset. Try it and let me know how it goes. Okay, let's move on to mindset shift number 3. Going from I'll start when I'm ready to I'll start now and I'll figure it out. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start when I'm ready. I'll apply for the job when I have more experience. I'll launch my business when I feel confident. I'll start working out when I have more time. Here's the truth. That moment of perfect readiness never comes. Waiting to feel ready is just another form of procrastination, and often it's perfectionism disguised as patience. The brain wants certainty. Your brain craves safety and predictability. So, starting something new feels risky, and we often tell ourselves we need more preparation. We convince ourselves that if we wait, we can avoid mistakes. But in reality, waiting only delays growth. We think we need the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions, but perfection is an illusion. It will never feel just right. The most successful people in the world, they didn't start when they were ready. They started and then they'll figure it out along the way. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about doing something. It comes from doing it. The only way to get better at something is to start. The only way to build confidence is to take messy action. You want to start a podcast? Just record the first episode, even if it's awkward. And it will be. I'm talking from experience. You want to change careers? Start networking today. You want to get fit? Do a 10-minute workout. Don't wait for the perfect plan. When you take action, every small step you take will build momentum. Let's go back to Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She didn't have a business degree. She had 0 experience in fashion, but she took her idea and ran with it, and she figured things out as she went. And today, she's a billionaire. Another example, Oprah Winfrey. She didn't wait until she felt 100% ready to step into the spotlight. She took bold, imperfect steps, learning along the way, and look where she is today. So let's practice reframing our mindset and start taking action today. Instead of saying, I'll start when I'm ready, how about we change that for I'll start now and I'll figure it out? Or instead of saying, I need more time to prepare, how about we change that with the best way to prepare is by doing, by taking action. If you want to take a little challenge along this mindset shift, here is an idea. Identify one thing that you've been postponing because you don't feel ready. And then today, take one small action without overthinking. And remind yourself success comes from progress and not perfection. The best way to grow is to take action before you feel ready. So what are you waiting for? Start now and figure it out later. Moving on to mindset shift number 4, from failure is the end to failure is a step forward. Think about the last time you failed at something. Did you see it as proof that you weren't good enough, or did you see it as feedback? Most people view failure as an ending, a sign to quit, a confirmation of their worst fear. But the most successful people in the world, they see failure as fuel. From a young age, we've been taught to avoid mistakes. Bad grades meant you're not smart. Losing a game meant you're not talented. But in reality, failure is just feedback. We don't want to look bad in front of others. We think failure means something about our worth. But in reality, no one is thinking about your failures as much as you are. If you don't succeed right away, we assume that we're not cut out for it. But success is built through trial, error, and persistence. So reframing failure, it's so important. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The most successful people have failed, and they have failed a lot. If not, let me give you 2 examples. The first one I can think of, Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team and later become one of the greatest athletes of all time. And he said something, a quote that is one of my favorite quotes in the world. I failed over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeeded. I love that quote. Another example, Thomas Edison. He tried over 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. If he would have told himself, I can't do this, we would not have electricity today. We wouldn't have light bulbs. When he was asked about his failures, he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. These people, they didn't see failure as an ending. They saw it as a lesson. So let's practice how to shift our mindset around failure. Instead of saying things like, I failed, so I should quit, how about we try, I failed, so I'm learning? Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, how about I'm getting better every time I try? Or instead of, I don't want to mess up, how about mistakes are how I grow? Turn failure into step forward. Ask yourself, what did this failure teach me? What would I do differently next time? And how can I use this experience to grow? I want you to think about a time that you failed at something, big or small. I want you to think about and write down one lesson you learned from it, and then ask, how can I use this to improve? The only real failure is to quit too soon. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Failure isn't the end, it's just part of that path to success. Moving on to mindset shift number 5, from I'm not good enough to I'm learning and growing. That little voice in your head that whispers, you're not ready, you're not talented enough, you'll never be as good as them. It's lying to you. We all have moments of self-doubt, but here's the truth. No one starts as an expert. The people you admire, they weren't born with confidence, with skill or mastery. They built it. Why we feel that we're not good enough? Well, I'll share a few reasons that influence us feeling that way. The first one is this comparison culture. We see someone excelling and assume they've always been great. But what we don't see is the years of practice, all the failures, all the struggles that got them where they are today. Another thing is our imposter syndrome. Even the most successful people have moments where they feel like a fraud. But instead of stopping them, they push through and grow anyway. And the last thing I can think of is the fear of judgment. We worry about what others will think if we're not perfect. But guess what? No one expects perfection, only progress. So how to shift your mindset? It's important that we recognize that growth is a process. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a student. Growth takes time, practice, and patience. Also, we can do this by reframing the negative thoughts. Instead of saying things like, I'm not good enough, how about we try, I'm learning and improving every day? Or I'm exactly where I need to be on my journey. Or every mistake is making me better. And then it's important that we take action despite the doubt. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from action. The more you do something, the more natural it becomes. And then one of my favorite strategies, once we've done all of that, is to celebrate small wins. Success isn't just about big milestones. It's about the little wins along the way. the first step, the first attempt, the first improvement. Acknowledge all of them. You don't need to be the best today. You just need to be better than yesterday. The real secret to success: keep learning, keep growing, and keep doing. Let's move to mindset shift number 6. From all or nothing to small steps add up. One of the biggest mindset traps we fall into is this all or nothing thinking. This belief that if we can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. Have you ever skipped a workout and thought, well, I already missed a day, so I might give up as well? Or you have eaten an unhealthy meal and thought, I blew my diet, so I'll start all over next Monday. This kind of thinking keeps people stuck. It leads to yo-yo dieting, inconsistent habits, unfinished projects. The truth: success doesn't come from perfection. It comes from consistency. This all or nothing thinking holds us back in many ways. It creates unnecessary pressure. When you believe that you have to do everything perfectly, you make things harder than they need to be. Progress doesn't require perfection, just effort. It also leads to burnout. People who go all in at the start of a new habit, working out 6 days a week, eating perfectly clean, working 12 hours every day, often burn out fast. Sustainable success is built over time, not in one single burst of motivation. It also prevents long-term success. When you aim for perfection, you get frustrated by setbacks and quit too soon. But setbacks aren't failures. They're just part of your growth journey. So how can we shift our mindset? First of all, focus on progress, not perfection. I repeat this to myself over and over again. Instead of aiming for 100% perfection, aim to just keep moving forward. Some progress is always better than no progress. Number 2, lower the bar to build momentum. If you don't have time for an hour-long workout, do 10 minutes. If you can't eat 100% clean, make one better choice today. Small wins build confidence and consistency. Number 3, remember the power of the compound effect. Tiny, consistent actions add up over time. One workout won't transform your body, but months of consistent movement will. One conversation won't build a career, but years of networking will. And the last thing, adopt a get back on track mentality. Miss a workout, ate something off plan, skip a day of work, that's okay. Just get back on track the next day. Success isn't about never slipping. It's about always getting back up. I love the strategy on the book Atomic Habits that speaks to never miss 2 consecutive days in a row. If you're building a habit and for whatever reason you miss a day, you skipped a day, that's okay. We're all humans. It happens. Just get back at it the next day, but never miss 2 days in a row. Because when you do, you're more likely to tell yourself the stories, oh, well, I already screwed up, so I just must as well give up. A single step might not seem like much, but a series of small steps can take you anywhere that you want to go. Focus on consistency, not perfection, and watch how far you can go. Moving to mindset number 7, from it's too late to my best is yet to come. If you've ever thought it's too late for me to change careers, or I would have started years ago, or I miss my chances, I have news for you. As long as you're breathing, your story isn't over. Society often makes us feel like success is a deadline, like we should have everything figured out by a certain age. But the truth, there is no timeline for success. Everyone moves at their own pace. The only real too late in here is when you stop trying. So, why we think it's too late? First of all, comparison culture. You see 20-year-old CEO on social media and think, I missed my shot. But For every young success story, there are thousands of people that found success later in life. Another reason why we think it's too late is the fear of starting over. Sometimes we don't want to be beginners again. But guess what? Every expert once was a beginner. So starting fresh is not a step back, it's a step forward. And the last reason I want to share with you is past regrets holding you back. Maybe you regret not taking action sooner, but instead of dwelling on the lost time, ask yourself, what can I do today? The past can't be changed, but the future is still yours to shape. So, how do we shift our mindset? We start by rewriting our story. Instead of saying, I should have started earlier, tell yourself, I'm starting now, and that's what matters. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time, today. Stop watching the clock. Success isn't a race. Some people start young, some start later, but what matters is that they start. They focus on their own journey. Embrace a lifelong growth. See, your best years aren't behind you. They're ahead of you if you decide to keep growing. Every new day is a chance to learn, to evolve, and to create something amazing. And then take a bold step. Don't let fear of too late stop you from taking action. Whether it's starting a business, going back to school, learning a new skill, your future self will thank you. Just take one bold step. The only real deadline in life is the one we set for ourselves. You're not behind. You're right on time. So go after what you want. Your best is yet to come. Mindset shift number 8, from I have to do this alone to success is built with support. Society glorifies independence. We admire the self-made millionaires, the person who figured it all out in their own. But here's the truth. No one succeeds alone. The most successful people have a team, a support system that helps them grow, problem solve, and keep going when things get tough. You don't have to carry the weight of your dreams alone. In fact, trying to do everything by yourself is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. The sooner you embrace collaboration, mentorship, and support, the faster and further you'll go. But why do we struggle to ask for help? I think we struggle to ask for help because we fear that we will look weak. Many of us hesitate to ask for help because we think it makes us seem incapable. But in reality, the strongest people are the ones who seek guidance and surround themselves with people who lift them up. I think we struggle to ask for help because of this I should know this mindset. We sometimes feel like we should have all the answers, but no one knows everything. Growth comes from learning, and learning comes from others. And lastly, I think that we struggle to ask for help because we don't want to be a burden. We tell ourselves, I don't want to bother anyone. But think about this. How do you feel when someone comes to you for advice? Helping others is fulfilling. Many people are happy to support you if you simply ask. So, who should be in our support system? I did once an episode on building your career squad. So I'm going to draw a lot from that episode, and I'm going to put it in a more generic context than just your career. And I'm going to mention a few personas that I covered then that I think should definitely be in your support system. The first one is mentors, people who have been where you want to go and can offer wisdom. Coaches, those are people who can help you stay accountable and push you beyond your comfort zone. Cheerleaders, these are friends, family, peers who encourage and remind you of your strengths. Critics, the good kind, people who give you constructive feedback to help you improve. And then peers and collaborators, these are people who share your journey, who can exchange ideas and help you grow. So, how do you build a strong support system? My tips for you will be seek out for mentors and coaches. Find people who inspire you and learn from them, whether it's through networking, online communities, formal coaching, surrounding yourself with those who have walked the path before you. The second tip will be to stop believing that you have to prove yourself first. You don't need to wait until you've achieved a certain level of success to ask for guidance. The best time to seek for support is right now. Tip number 3, be open to collaboration. Success isn't a solo mission. Partner with others, share ideas, build something bigger than you could alone. Tip number 4, ask for help without guilt. Asking for help isn't a weakness, it's a strategy. Strong leaders, top athletes, high achievers, they all have coaches, advisors, and teams. Why shouldn't you? And my last tip for you is give support to receive it. A strong support system is built on mutual growth. Encourage, uplift, and help others, and you'll naturally build a circle that supports you in return. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That is a quote that someone shared with me many years ago. Success is not a solo journey, it's a team effort. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who uplift you, and watch how much further you can go. Okay, we're getting close to the end. Mindset shift number 9, from I'll be happy when to I choose to be happy now. How many times have you told yourself, I'll be happy when I get that promotion? I'll be happy when I lose the weight. I'll be happy when I finally have the perfect relationship, the dream house, the financial freedom. You fill the blanks. It's a common mindset, one that keeps us constantly chasing an ever-moving target. But here's the truth. Happiness isn't at the finish line. It's in the process. If you keep postponing happiness until you, quote unquote, arrive, you'll always feel like you're not quite there yet. Why do we fall into this I'll be happy when trap? Well, I think for several reasons. One, we think achievement equates happiness. I think from a young age, we're conditioned to believe that success equals happiness. We're taught to work hard, to hit milestones, and then finally we'll feel fulfilled. But how many successful people still feel empty? External wins don't guarantee internal peace. The second reason is we're always looking for the next goal. The moment we achieve one thing, our mind moves to the next thing. We celebrate for a second and then immediately start thinking about what's missing. This destination addiction keeps us from appreciating what's already in front of us. And lastly, we base happiness on circumstances. If our joy is tied to external factors like money, status, relationships, it becomes fragile. The moment life doesn't go as planned, our happiness disappears. True happiness isn't something that happens to us, it's something that we choose. Happiness isn't something you earn, it's something you practice. Instead of focusing on what's missing, focus on what's already good. What can you appreciate today? Think about a long road trip. If you only focus on the final destination, you miss the music, the loves, the scenic views along the way. Your goal matters, but so does today. Yes, pursue your dreams. Yes, strive for more, but don't make your happiness depend on a future achievement. Be happy now while you grow. So, how to start living this today? Well, it starts by reframing your thinking, like with all the other mindsets we've discussed today. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when I get the promotion, try, I'm proud of the work that I'm doing right now and I trust that success will come. Celebrate small wins. Happiness isn't just for the big milestones. Celebrate progress no matter how small. Finish a workout, that's a win. Make time for a hobby, that's a win. Be present in the now, when you eat, when taste your food, when you're with people that you love, listen fully. When you work out, immerse yourself in it. Happiness is found in the present moment. Every morning or night, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. This simple habit rewires your brain to focus on abundance instead of lack. Remember, happiness isn't a destination. It's a daily decision. You can choose to be frustrated or you can choose to see the good. You can wait for joy or you can just create it. Your life is happening right now. If you can't be happy today, you won't magically be happy when you achieve the next big thing. Stop chasing happiness and start choosing it. And that brings me to our last mindset shift. From I hope it works out to I will make it happen. Hope is a beautiful thing. It gives us a sense of possibility. It keeps us optimistic when things feel uncertain. But hope alone won't create the life you want. Hope is passive. It waits, it wishes, it depends on external circumstances. But success, growth, fulfillment, those comes with action. From the belief that you have the power to shape your reality. From the mindset shift of waiting for things to happen to making them happen. The problem with I hope it works is that it gives away your power. Saying I hope I get the work, or I hope I hit my goal, or I hope I can improve my health implies that the outcome is out of your hands. But the truth is, you have far more control than you think. Your choices, your actions, your mindset determines what happens. Not luck, not fate, not chance. It keeps you in a passive role. Hope is wishful thinking. It feels comforting, but it doesn't move the needle. You can hope to get in shape, or you can start exercising. You can hope to grow your business, or you can just take daily action to build it. Hope also lacks ownership. When you say, I hope it works, there's an unspoken belief that if it doesn't, it's because something external got on your way. But when you say, I will make it work, you take full responsibility. So let's shift from wishing to taking control. Commit instead of wishing. Instead of saying, I hope to get the opportunity, say, I will create the opportunity. Instead of saying, I hope I succeed, say, I will do what it takes to succeed. Adopt a problem-solving mindset. People who hope things work often stop at the first roadblock. People who decide things will work, they find out another way. So ask yourself, what is in my control? What actions can I take right now? What's the next step I can take today? And then turn if into when. Notice the difference between these 2 statements. If I succeed or when I succeed. One is uncertain. The other is a declaration. So start living this today by setting clear intentions. Vague hopes lead to vague results. Instead of hoping to get in better shape, set a specific plan. I will work out 4 times a week and fuel my body with nourishing food. Take consistent action. Commit to small daily actions that move you forward. You don't need a perfect plan, just the willingness to take the next step. Own your success. Instead of relying on luck or waiting for permission, decide that success is not negotiable. Take full ownership for your goals. Develop a I'll figure it out attitude. Challenges will come. Instead of saying, I hope I can handle it, shift to I will figure it out. Growth comes from problem solving, not avoiding discomfort. And lastly, surround yourself with action takers. Your mindset is influenced by the people around you. So surround yourself with those who take action, not those who wish for things. Hope is a starting point, but action is the driver. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator of your results. Decide what you want, commit to making it happen, and refuse to settle for anything less. All right, we've just walked through 10 powerful mindset shifts that can truly change the game for you. These aren't just ideas, they're invitations to think, act, and live differently. Here's the thing, your mindset is your foundation. The way you think shapes the way you show up, and the way you show up determines the results that you get. If you shift your thinking, you shift your reality. So as you go about your day, ask yourself, which of these mindset shifts do I need most right now? Where have I been holding myself back? What's one small action I can take today to step into my full potential? Because that's the key. It's not about knowing these shifts, it's about living them. And listen, if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread the energy, the mindset, and this momentum together. Thank you for being here, for investing in yourself, and for choosing growth. You're capable of more than you know. So now is your turn to go and make it happen. Okay, my friend, that's all I've got for you today. But before you go, 2 quick reminders. Number 1, if we're not already friends on Instagram, let's get connected. You can find me as Leading Yourself Podcast. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am incredibly grateful that you're in this journey with me. I want to leave you with one last thought. I want to remind you that you're destined for more and that every step that you take brings you closer to becoming that best version of yourself. Embrace each day as a chance to learn, grow, and chase your dreams. The world needs you to shine brightly, so go out and show up fully and authentically. Take care, and I'll see you next time.